Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Frank, and today we're going to be talking about the Creality K1, and spoiler alert, it's not great. So before we get started, there's a little elephant in the room. This is my Frankly Reviewed logo. In case you haven't heard yet, I am actually shutting down the second channel just because it was too much stress on me to have two separate channels. I was neglecting it greatly, and I figured, hey, I can start doing actual review videos back on the main channel, but we can still use this format. So if you see the blue and white logo and whatever the thumbnail turns out to be, you'll know that it is actually a review video, not a build video, so I like this whole idea more. Anyway, we're here to talk about the Creality K1. Now, this isn't going to be a just dunk on Creality video. This printer absolutely has some benefits, merits, and it is a beautiful step in the right direction. I do like this printer, but we're going to talk about some of the things I don't like throughout the video. But right off the bat, what do you get out of the box? Well, besides buyer's remorse. You get, in my personal opinion, one of Creality's best turnkey 3D printers. It comes with all your basic little 3D printers, tools, and everything you're going to need to do any type of maintenance on it. And you can actually take most of the printer apart with what you have right here, which in today's market is actually really crucial when repairing high-speed 3D printers. These things aren't infallible, and you are going to need to repair them occasionally. I actually took this entire thing apart on my Twitch stream just to see what kind of made it tick. In case you guys didn't know, I do have a Twitch. Don't forget to go check that out. It's fun, but it's very simply built, which means repairing it is going to be very simple. If a belt breaks or things start to wear down, it's just gonna happen. But I'm not saying that to dissuade you. In terms of construction type and the build quality of it, it's actually really solid. It's definitely up there with some of its competitors on the market, and really it's easier to repair, which is great. Creality's instruction manuals have gotten much better over the past years. It literally does tell you exactly how to unbox it, how to set it up, how to do the first couple leveling bits and bobs. So you're really not gonna need to worry too much about it getting confusing to get to your first print. Creality also did send me some of their filament that I never ended up opening because I have so much filament I don't need to test theirs. So I committed the unholy act of using some Elegoo filament on it, and it worked just fine. It's their high-speed filament. It prints. It comes with a neat little cover. So it comes with a neat little. It comes with the cover. Come on. Why? It comes with a neat little cover, so if you're printing with PLA, you can remove the cover and then you get unfeathered access to the top. Dealer's choice on if you want to print with it or not, depending on the filaments you're going to be using. I use mostly PLAs and PLA pluses, but whatever your flavor is, whatever the printer says it can print, honestly, I think it could. It's the adhesion we're going to talk about later. Now for $5.99, what do you get in terms of build volume? Yes, it's a high-speed printer. We've already established that with all these crazy numbers in the market right now. And yes, it does print very fast, but it is 230 by 230 by 250. It's whatever's right here. I'm close, I know I am. But that's basically an Ender 3. So you're getting not the biggest build volume in the world. It can kind of fit some things if I can just... Don't try this at home. I'm a professional. All of that to just do this. It can fit something like a Mandalorian helmet if you position it absolutely perfectly, and you also scale it down, and you also have zero overhangs, and you also get rid of the ears. It's an Ender 3 size, so you're not going to be able to fit much on there. Now, you can cut any file to fit absolutely any printer on the market. I still don't know why I still get that question. Oh, well, can it print this or fit that? You can fit anything on any printer. You just cut the file up. But that's for another video. So yeah, it's about the size of an Ender 3's build volume, and it takes up about the same footprint as an Ender 3, honestly, because if you're considering how far your bed's gonna go back, if it's a bed slinger, anything like that, yeah, it fits up on your desk. You can just pick it up and move it around and carry it, and it looks pretty nice. All right, so when you boot this baby up, you're gonna be met with actually a pretty nice user interface. Creality definitely has been dialing this in recently with their touchscreen systems. Very simple to, go in here and heat your nozzle. I still haven't found any type of presets, so that's totally fine. So you can start heating your nozzle, you can start heating your bed, you can do your auto homes, adjustments, levels, you can go check your files, you can do the local, USB, you can even go through history. You can see I was trying to print some cool Iron Man-y stuff. And then you have all your settings, your screen off times, your time limits, your language selections. There's actually a good amount of stuff here. And then you can also hook it up to Wi-Fi, which was fairly easy to do. No problems there. And then you have your little manuals. However, I will say, oh, you also got some lights, you know, you can turn the lights on and off if you really want to. Now, I'm going to show you guys something that definitely took me by surprise. First time I actually started to preheat it and start printing. Now, this was not something I was ready for, and it's something that isn't really being talked about too much when it comes to high-speed 3D printing. Everybody's already used to quiet, silent printers because when we were at that race for the bottom, it's now expected every 3D printer just have silent stepper motors. However, a problem we're going to now start running into is and yes, I understand I was using the sliders to max out the fans, but once you get past those first couple layers on your first print or whatever you're actually printing, all of those fans kick on. That's how you get high-speed printing. With high-speed printing, you also need high-speed cooling, and my God, is this thing loud. Now, I haven't put this next to an X1 Carbon, but I have put this next to a P1P, and this is louder, and that's not great, especially if it's gonna be something that's gonna be in your room and you're gonna be running with it a lot. It's not something you're gonna be able to sleep next to because of just the noise of it, unless you're somebody who sleeps with like white noise or whatever the heck. That's totally up to you, I'm not judging. But it's just loud. It's a loud printer and it has glass casing and plastic and just, yeah, that's definitely something to consider if you're gonna have it in a room or your next room over, or you want, you know, some type of silent printer. High-speed printing might not be the thing for you if you like that, you know, solitude and peace of a printer just working away in the corner and you don't even know it's there. So let's just go ahead and turn you off now. So now let's talk about actually printing with this thing. What was the experience like directly out of box? Now, anytime I get a new printer, I do my best to imagine I am brand new. I've been doing this for 4 years now. I know my way around a 3D printer and I can get pretty much any printer to print. But it's not about me and what I can do. It's about what you guys are able to do. Brand new, first printer, oh my God, it's Christmas, yay. What's your experience gonna be like? And I really try to hone that in. And it wasn't great. Somehow, I was able to get a benchy off of it. I've gone and since broke the little smokestack off. It actually did finish printing. But I was able to get a benchy off of it. And honestly, in terms of quality, not a bad benchy, especially at the speed it was printing at. After that though, boy was it all downhill. We had failed print, failed print, failed print, failed print, spaghetti, even more failures. And I promise you guys, I was doing everything in my power to get this thing to work without really having to get creative and crafty. Eventually I had to do that, but the amount of failures I had right out of box just did not bode well for this printer. Not to mention, it is a $600 printer that still needs a glue stick. A glue stick that Creality doesn't even give you. Right here on the bed that they provide, please apply glue before print. Give me the glue. I'm pretty sure there's a factory somewhere in the world that is just full of these glue sticks because I think they're just, I literally think they grow on trees. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're gonna provide a printer for this price point with a bed. It's 2023. I think we figured out our adhesion problems by this point. We have something, and I really hate to continue to do it, but the P1P is this thing's direct competitor. They are now the same price. When I made my last video about it, the P1P was still $100 more and still kind of worth it, but now they're the exact same price. So why am I having such bad adhesion problems with a $600 printer and you don't even give me the solution for that adhesion? That's just bad packaging in my mind. Now, I'm sure while I'm making this video, there's probably already beds that you can swap out for this, but why doesn't this bed work? I understand that high-speed printing does have slightly different requirements for making sure you have that good adhesion, but other printers seem to have figured it out, so why are we still using glue sticks on beds in 2023? I just do not understand it, and it is such a turnoff for this printer for me. I can't get past that. Now, some of the prints I did start getting were very high quality. I was using some really high detailed Ironman faceplates in order to test the capabilities of this printer. Yeah, printing fast is really cool, but how does it hold up when it comes to quality? And I was really impressed from the 2 failed faceplates I had, but at least now I have masks to go out in public in. Am I cool yet? After the failure of those 2 faceplates, I figured, hey, maybe it's the model and my positioning, and I'm just over asking at this point. So then I started to do a jaw, and I had it positioned pretty nicely, and it was coming out really, really smooth, especially at the speed I was printing this thing at. And then I just had a clog. I had a clog on my brand new printer with, you know, normal high-speed filament. And at this time, this wasn't Elegoo's filament. I think this was, I actually do think this was one of the rolls Creality had sent me in another box, but it clogged. Why? And then finally, after clearing the clog on my brand new $600 3D printer and adjusting a couple more settings in Creality Print, I was able to get my first print off of this after struggling with it for a few days. And just, it wasn't a fun experience. It wasn't an easy experience, and it isn't an experience I would really want for anybody else. Now, the quality of this is pretty great. The supports were coming off really easily. The presets in Creality 3D Print or whatever slicer, I can't, there's like 9 of them, whatever. Yeah, the presets for the K1, were pretty spot on, and I don't have complaints in that, but it was the work I had to do to get there. Why? I think you guys by this point can kind of already tell where this review video is going, and I really just wanted to be as unbiased as possible and look at the K1 unobjectively and just compare it to itself. But when there is a direct competitor on the market for now the exact same price point that's larger and has a better track record already than a company that has been around for how many years? It's really hard for me to suggest this printer to you guys. Now, if you already have it and you've already gotten it to work, I think you're going to enjoy it. The user interface is good, it is easy to set up, and if you can fight the leveling and adhesion problems, it does start to get you good quality. I don't think you'd be remiss for being, oh, I can't believe I got a K1. No, it's gonna print great for you once you get it to print. I have no doubts about that. I do love my Creality machines. I still use my Pro V2s all the time. But the fact that this was just clearly a cash grab to just compete with Bambu, that sucks. That sucks for us as the consumers because this should have been better. This could have been so much better if they had just put a little bit more time into it, and they didn't. If you're watching this video because you're in the market for a K1 and you want a new high-speed 3D printer and you saw this thing pop up, just Google Creality K1 and look for the Bambu ad that pops up about 3 ads down because, man, are they ruthless. And get yourself a P1P instead because not great. Oh, and while I was setting up to film this video yesterday, guess what showed up at my doorstep? The K1 Max. Now, I'm not gonna talk about this printer in this video because this is the printer I've been waiting for. A large format high-speed printer. So I am gonna be cracking this open pretty much when I'm done with this video and expect maybe in the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully, I'm gonna put this thing through its paces because this is a 300 by 300 by 300 3D printer that should be as fast as this thing. I'm very excited for this, and man, I am just hoping the experience on the Max is better than the normal K1, but if I'm being honest, I doubt it will be, but I really want to get this thing to work. So yeah, stay tuned for the K1 Max review eventually. So with all that said and done, I do apologize, guys. If you came here hoping to get a recommendation on the K1, if you wanted me to talk you into it, I just can't. I don't want to put that type of video out in the atmosphere, and I can't recommend this printer. As high hopes as I had for it, there is literally a perfect competitor for it out there that's just better, tried and true, the same price, and more reliable at this point. So yeah. If you're in the market for a K1, don't be. If you already have one, good luck. I still think you will enjoy it, but I'm gonna try to steer you guys in a different direction. I know this video is probably gonna lose me some brownie points with Creality, but I don't make videos on my channel for them. I make videos on my channel for you guys. So if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about anything you saw in the video, please leave some comments down below. I would love to open up a narrative. If you have a K1, what has been your experience? Did you have the same problems I have? Has it been absolutely flawless for you? And am I just dumb? There are tons of possibilities, but definitely leave some comments down below. And if you're interested in more reviews, 3D printing tutorials, cosplay props, or maybe even the K1 Max review coming out soon, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because that will be coming out eventually. And we're almost at 1 million subscribers. Actually, scratch everything I just said about comments about this video. Actually, you can still do that. But leave me some comments down below on what you would like to see as my 1 million subscriber video. I have no idea. I think it should be something in the Iron Man suit. I don't know. What would be funny? What would be a cool video? Yeah, let me know. But that's gonna be a wrap for this video, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and you have a good day. Woo!